Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Trans Table Kiki. I'm one of your hosts, Duchess, and
I'm Portia.
yay, Porsche. I think we should. I'm not even feeling the Trans Table Kiki anymore. I think we should change the name, girl. I think. What
Mm,
do you think? We should maybe call it Trans Talk. How does that sound?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling Trans Talk, girl. Okay, so rewind, flip it, reverse it. Hello, welcome to Trans Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Duchess, and
I'm Portia.
yay, welcome back, guys. So, Porsche, what are we discussing this week?
Okay. So someone had gave me a question here,
Oh.
and they they asked about what is transphobia and why is it a problem? Okay, so transphobia is a fear and hatred of trans individuals, and it can manifest itself with hate crimes and employment, discrimination, and even rejection by family and friends. It is a big
Mm,
problem, and it can lead to physical and emotional harm for trans people.
mm.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
Um, Definitely think, like you say, it's something that it really shouldn't affect other people because at the end of the day, like what I do in my life, what you do with your life, or anyone does with someone else's with their life, it doesn't affect the next person, worry about yourself. So I don't understand why there needs to be a fear of trans people, but also at the same time, I do feel like trans individuals are not necessarily in the forefront as well as like as much as like gay men are. So girls with the trans experience, it's not really understood. It's still more taboo. Whereas I feel like if we had more activists or celebrities or TV shows that like highlighted, even movies that highlight the trans experience, it wouldn't be such a taboo and people wouldn't be so afraid of trans people.
So, what can trans individuals do to cope with transphobia? So, uh, take on it is it's important to have a support system who are knowledgeable about the trans experience. You can reach out to an organization or because they can provide other resources or advocacy on trans rights.
Valid point. Well, what are my thoughts? I'm happy you asking, Porsche. Um, I think that, at least for me, in my experience, I think people have to master the subtle art of not giving a fuck, okay?
Mm,
Because people are always going to have their opinions. They're always going to have something to say, whether it's your family or friends, what have you. And at the end of the day, if you are living your life the way you want to live it, you can always make new friends. Unfortunately, the family may take a little bit longer to come around, or they may never come around. But I think for someone going, who is living their life and there's like and making that decision to come out, start cross-dressing, start making that transition to transhood. I think you just have to be aware of that. It's gonna happen, and how you cope with it is just you set up like, you know what? Everyone's not gonna accept me. The people who do accept me, I'm gonna love them. And the people who can't accept me now in this space and time, okay, maybe they'll come around later on, maybe they won't, but I'm gonna make the decision to live my life the way I want. And that's how I will cope with it.
okay, that's great advice. So he another question he asked was, "What about allies and friends of the trans individuals? How can they help support trans loved ones and friends who may be dealing with transphobia?" And so allies can be make a big difference, by educating themselves about this trans experience and trans rights and visibility, and speaking against transphobia, because that's a major issue, um, They can also practice support too. You know, having a support system around you can help combat the transphobia.
I definitely agree, Portia. And I would say, kind of like just to piggyback off of what you were saying earlier, if you like stand up for your trans friends, if someone's saying something negative about trans person, like don't be afraid to go like, hey, I don't agree with that. Like, the trans community, we need allies and we need people who are not afraid to speak up on our behalf and say, like, you shouldn't treat this person that way, or like, why do you care? And also, I think being an ally, being a part of being an ally is asking questions, trying to
Yeah,
trying to understand the trans experience. Ask those questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I feel like if you don't ask questions, it's going to stay unknown and just like a touchy topic. But as long as you're approaching a trans individual with respect and they see you're trying to generally like make a connection, I think that that trans person is going to be open and receive that in a positive way, and then you can get a nice dialogue going. But basically, I think um, allies, how they can help, ask questions, and speak up when need be.
yeah, that's great. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic. Um, I'm gonna play this video and then we're gonna discuss it.
All the people, there's so many wonderful pundits and politicians who say, well, gender affirming care for children, that's something that we should debate, right? Children don't know. And I would actually disagree. I would actually say hashtag it's none of your business. If you are a parent with a trans child, it is your business. I think the American Medical Association, the American Academy for Pediatrics, the Endocrine Society have developed wonderful protocols that have worked for treating trans children. And parents who are dealing with that can go and get that information. If you're a parent of a trans child, it's your business. If you're not, it's none of your business. What adults do with their bodies is none of their business. This is America. It should be about freedom, bodily autonomy. I'm firmly and staunchly pro-choice, and we should have the right to do with our bodies what we want to in America. And even for children, that's their parents' business, it's their doctor's business. It is not a legislator's business who doesn't know anything about it. So what I would suggest, because whenever we're debating whether trans folks should have access to health care, we're objectifying them. When we see senators in Supreme Court confirmations talking about mutilating children, we're objectifying children, talking about children's genitalia, which is disgusting. And when we objectify, we dehumanize. And that is what this whole project has been about, not making trans people real people, human beings who exist. I exist. There's no trans question. I'm not a question. I exist here. I have a material reality, lived experiences, and trans people have always existed, and we're not going to stop existing if people don't teach about us. So we should have acceptance. It is our business if we're discriminated against in healthcare, in employment, in housing, which many of these people want to do. That is our business if we believe in liberty and justice for all Americans. But what people do with their bodies is none of our business.
Yeah, so I believe everything she's saying there is accurate. I don't think that politicians should tell us what to do about our bodies, and especially kids. You know, they have this debate on whether children should be taking puberty blockers and all this stuff. And kids still are not taking puberty blockers.
So when Laverne was talking, you could really tell how like passionate she was about the situation. Of course, she's passionate; she's a trans person, but you could really tell like it was something that was like near and dear to her heart. And of course, like we as trans girls are going to agree with her. Why should some white man in Washington, D.C. or what have you, so whatever state, make like bills and whatnot regarding trans individuals' bodies as well as women's bodies. Like Laverne said, this is America, land of the free. We should have the right to do what we will as long as it's not hurting anybody else. So it definitely, to me, it's crazy that what did it say? 11 states were looking to pass that anti-trans bill.
Yeah,
Do you know a little more about this bill, Portia?
no. No, I agree with her on. She was very passionate about um, her issues on, um, about trans kids and how they're sexualized,
Mhm.
and saying that they should not be sexualized like that.
Oh, I love that video. Yes,
I
I
did
love
too.
it. Girl, I did not know Kim Petras was trans.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I think a lot of people didn't know that. Like, I knew she was a like LGBTQ like advocate, but I never knew she was trans. Didn't know she was like born in
I
Germany. I
did
just thought
not
she was
know she was
British.
trans.
We learned so much, and I'm super happy for Kim. And um, I feel like she probably started her transition when she was young, like in her
She
teens, because
did
she
very
is
young.
so passive. It had all of us food, and her voice is like, you never know. She had to start
Yeah,
at like 16 or something.
she sings like a woman, like a
Yes!
cis woman.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like she started her transition really early before her voice dropped.
Yeah, because
Because
she said
before,
her parents, supported her throughout
and
her
they believed in
transition.
her. Because back when I was a kid, I used to sound like my sister and my mom. So when my voice dropped, it was a game changer. So only imagine how different my voice would have been if I started transitioning back then, at least with hormones. At least the hormones.
Yeah,
My voice would have been so much better because I am so subconscious about my voice. I know people say,
I
oh, it's
don't
smooth,
know
it's
why you're
great.
subconscious about your
But I just
voice.
think it is so deep. When I hear like recordings of myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, my voice is so deep.
It's not
And
deep.
mind you, this is me controlling it right now. It used to be a lot deeper. Okay. But back to Miss Kimmy, yeah, I'm super excited for her.
I was so happy for them, and you know, people people are saying that Sam Smith's performance and her Kim Petras' performance of Unholy was so satanic and ungodly, and
It was unholy. That was the point of the video. It was supposed to be. It was unholy. Did you expect
yeah,
them to be praying with prayer cloths and splashing holy water everywhere? It was supposed to be unholy. What did you expect? You click first of all, you click the link that said unholy, and then get mad when you see something that's unholy.
well, no, they were like, oh, people, they did this satanic performance and on the Grammys, and uh, they were all up in arms over that. And I would,
Like,
and what I would say is, if you don't like it, turn off the television.
don't click it. Simply
Yeah,
go to the bathroom, restock your nachos, get another pop. And that's it. It's kind of
yeah.
like what I said earlier in the stream. Trans individuals have to develop thick skin, and we get people like this who are all just like, "Oh, this is an abomination. This is this, that, and the other." I just say, you know what? Do what Miss Queen Beyonce says. Hate her or love her, B has the unbothered phase locked, okay? You'll never hear her comment. You will never hear her sweat, okay? The only thing you'll hear is her next single dropping in a few months, okay? You will hear her run into the bank to cash her new check.
And Sam Smith comes out as non-binary, and people are open arms over that, and people say he's done this for publicity and stuff like that, and because he first came out as gay, and then
Right.
and when that didn't work, they said he came out as non-binary, and
Well, I feel like, I mean, obviously we don't know Sam stuff. I'm trying to look up and find out who designed her outfits at the Grammys because I really want to know so I can tell everybody. I feel like it was like Valentino, but anyway. Um, I feel like the record industry, the music industry, or whatever field you're in, when you first come out, you come out in the best image that your record label feels is going to, make you a star. So I feel like as the years go by, you may start to show little leaks of your personality. And then when a person changes, and this happens all the time, it happened with Brianna. They was all, oh,
And
she's
that
all
happened
good
with
girl
my
going
ex too.
bad and all this. And it's like she's changing and she's like, doing drugs, whatever. It's like, or she's showing you who she really is. And it's not just celebrities who do it. We as regular people do it too. When you start a new job or you have a new group of friends, you don't just start busting out the gate. I mean, some people do, but you don't just burst out the gate, all
Yeah,
fabulous and whatnot. Even me, like I tone it down a little bit when I meet somebody new, or if I start a new job, I may, like
yeah,
dress a little more low key, and then I get more comfortable, and I may start doing, okay, I'm gonna start opening up a little bit. Everyone does it, so I don't see how it's different for when a celebrity does it. Sam Smith and Miss Kim Petras, even her, because when she first started, she was all hard to break and all like good girl, and now she's all unholy and whatnot. Like they're just they're just growing as individuals, and they're starting to show us, getting more comfortable to show the world who they really are. But yeah, kudos to them. I actually looked it up. So it looks like Sam was wearing that nice voluptuous Valentino outfit, and Kim apparently was wearing a vintage dress by a designer named Victor Costa. But on the red carpet, it looks like they were accompanied by like RuPaul Drag Race stars too. So again, just like to piggyback off what I was saying earlier, like this is what we need. We need like constantly we're seeing trans individuals in the media and like just making our narrative the norm, our stories the norm, our lives normalize. This is definitely what we need. But anywho, move right along, Porsche. Are you ready for my topic?
sure.
So I wanted to get into a little bit on a personal note about trans individuals' sex drive when they're on hormones. Um, I wanted to get into a little bit about trans individuals, their drive in the bedroom when they're on hormones. And I know for me personally, I can definitely say that it has went, and I don't know if I can't speak for Porsche on this one, but for me, I can definitely I can understand how cis women feel when it comes to like, time with their significant other and stuff. Some are just like, I'd rather go to sleep. Not really tonight. Or they can just like, they can put out for their man like once a month and be done. And the man's like, I want more. I can understand where cis women are coming from when they're like that, because I'm kind of like that now. And I feel kind of bad because like my partner, like he'll want to satisfy me and he'll be looking for me to, have this big, finish. And if it doesn't happen, he just looks like a little puppy with his tail in between his legs walking away. And I'm like, no, sweetie, like that's not the case. It's not what you're doing. Like I'm happy with you. It's my hormones. Like the drive isn't there as much. Um, Portia, can you relate to anything of what I'm saying, or am I crazy?
No, you're correct about that. I mean, hormones give you a drive in the bedroom. You know, your drive is very low and it varies from girl to girl. But, you know, my drive is very low, but in order to, I was reading the other day about, how your penis is atrophying, and,
Mm.
they recommend you to at least jerk off like maybe like 2 times a week in order to prevent the penis from atrophy because it really hurts. So that's really
Now, now, when you say, is it trimastrophe?
what?
What's the word?
No,
Trimastrophe?
atrophy. Atrophy.
Atrophy. So atrophy is the genitalia getting smaller.
It's getting
Um,
smaller.
okay, gotcha, gotcha. So if you were to pleasure yourself once every 2 weeks, that prevents it from getting smaller?
like maybe 2 times a week, then
2 times a week. Uh-huh.
it no it prevents it from getting painful, because you really
Mm.
feel the pain in here when you're when it's atrophying. you
Okay,
know
okay.
it's very painful. It feels like you got kicked in the
In the privates.
yeah, in the private.
I have a friend and he calls it a kick in the cash and prizes.
Yeah.
Kicked in your cash and prizes. Your Franken beans. Your Frank's Red Hot. Um, well, I'm happy you brought that up. For me personally, I haven't felt it sensitive at all. I know when I first started on hormones, it felt sensitive like a few weeks, and that was it. It just stopped. And me personally, I am looking forward to the day that my genitalia is like getting smaller because I don't need it. I don't like. I don't want
You
to get it
don't need
removed.
it.
I don't like. I don't want to get it removed. Like I'm happy having it. I like knowing that it's there. My partner likes knowing that it's there. Um, and that's probably a topic for another day. Like some trans girls want it and some trans girls don't, and how your dating pool is different. We can talk about that different a different time. But
Mm.
I like having mine, and I just don't want it as big. So when I wear dresses, I don't want it to show. Like I like it
Okay.
small, so I want it to get smaller, but mine has not been sensitive in that regard. But yeah, I'm happy you shared that with us, Forrest. But also that it does bring up an important conversation that a girl should have with her partner. A lot of times guys just want a trans girl because they saw someone on the train, in public, and they're like, oh, this would be curious to try. Or they saw a beautiful girl in a trans adult video, and it's like, oh, like, I didn't know there was an option. And then they're like fantasizing about this trans girl, but they don't really
You
know the
know,
ins. They don't really know the ins or outs about what it is for a trans girl, and um
well,
I
there's
think it's
there's a lot of girls are who top and who are
agreed 100%.
who are tops.
But I feel like most of trans girls are bottoms. Like we
No,
don't come across that many girls who are tops. I'm not saying they don't exist, but a good portion of them are bottoms.
no, no. I mean,
Oh,
most of the
okay,
trans
so Portia, so most of the trans girls you've met are tops?
I mean, truly trans girls are tops. Most of them.
Truly trans. So wait, so most of the trans girls you've met are tops?
I mean,
I can't hear you.
I
So
mean,
ladies and gentlemen, back to what I was
if you
saying.
count CDs in there, I mean, you can't really count CDs in
No one, bro. It gets disgusting about CDs, girl. Okay.
there. I
It,
mean,
it, it sounds like me and Portia are gonna have to agree to disagree on this one, but and I'm not afraid, even though Portia's afraid to say it, I'm not afraid to say it. From my experience, most trans girls that I have met have been bottoms. Okay, so
mm,
what I was saying was that I think it's important for trans girls, if you have a partner or someone that you're intimate with, or if you just meet someone and you're not intimate with them, but they have questions about trans girls, let these boys know that trans girls are going to have a harder time getting excited, aroused. They might not necessarily come like they won't necessarily ejaculate. Like they can still have an orgasm, but they may not ejaculate, or it may just be blank, like nothing will come out.
you
I
know,
know for me, I cannot. And guys, if they don't have any trans girls to talk to, or any like YouTube shows like this, they'll never know this. I think this is definitely an important conversation that should be had with girls and their partners. What are your thoughts, Portia?
I know this girl. I mean, I'm gonna call it D, and
Okay.
and she was telling a friend of mine that she went on hormones for 3 months and went off them for 3 months and went back on them for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, uh, so that's what kept her uh, junk uh, active. You know, that's what kept her junk active. You know,
That's
so
I was okay. So that's something to try. Maybe, that's the one good thing about the hormones I've spoken to like my doctor about is that if you feel like you get to a point, and again, we're not doctors, we're just talking about from our experiences. Um, but if my doctor has always told me that if you get to a point in your journey where you feel like you don't want to take the hormones, or you just want to take maybe the estrogen and stop doing the T blockers so you get more aroused, that's totally up to you. You can customize what you take, however it fits your needs. So the individual that you were saying, Porsche, who like took it for 3 months on, took it 3 months off, like, hey, if it works for her, that's the beauty of being on hormones. You have that option. I know eventually for myself, I would love to stop taking my T blockers eventually so I can get aroused in my partner and just continue to take my estrogen. So it just keeps me feminine and just, keeps me even more fabulous than what you're used to.
mhm.
But so speaking of hormones, growing breasts on hormones, Porsche. Okay, girl, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Well, I know for me, um, I am happy with my little journey. I would definitely recommend girls who w- eventually you want to get breast augmentation to start the hormones and let it soften you up. Again, we're not doctors. This is just coming from our experiences, but I feel that if you start the hormones and you start some sort of natural breast tissue growing, you can get a better idea as opposed to if you start no hormones, you get breast implants and then start the hormones. Because for me,
Mm.
like I'm a good A cup and I actually enjoy being A cup. I love it. A
Okay.
nice 4A, maybe a little B. And if I wanted to get a little bit more, at least I have a base, a foundation, and then I can go a little bit bigger. But I love it. My partner is happy with it. Um, I recommend doing hormones first, and then if you want to go bigger, then definitely after a year or so, definitely you look into breast augmentation.
And do you think that you got the A cup because you're a lot younger?
Oh, that's a really good question, Porch. Um, I know I've heard that when you take hormones at a younger age, it's better because like some of your like stronger features have not developed yet. Um, Who knows? Again, with my doctor, maybe if I started younger, like even younger, like at 16, they would have been more fuller. Um, but I am naturally a small, petite person, so I feel
Mm.
like whatever tissue that I did get there, it wasn't gonna be a lot to begin with. It was gonna be like my butt, perky and firm. It was gonna be just enough.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That was a really good question, Portia. But yeah, I'm happy with what I have. Portia, you have anything to add?
I'm a little bit older, and it's taking me a longer time to develop breasts.
And you know what? I'm happy you said that because everyone's journey is going to be different. It just depends on their body. I know certain ways you do your hormones can affect how your breast tissue will come in. Like I know that the patch, even though the patch is great, it's like one and done. It's easy. You don't get as much of a stronger dosage as you do with the pills and the injection. For me, Porsche, I don't know about you, but I am definitely afraid of doing the injection myself. I heard some girls just inject it in their asses. And I'm just like, what if I tense up? It's gonna be like I'm stabbing myself with a tiny needle. Like that scares the crap out of me. I don't know.
Yeah, like I've been doing the injections for maybe like over 2 months. No, it has to be longer than that. Maybe like 3 months. And
Uh-huh.
the injection last time hurt so bad, and it's always been hurting me. And
Really?
yeah, and they've been doing it in my legs, but I'm gonna I'm gonna tell them I need to either have it done in the butt or I'm gonna go to
No, no pun intended.
the
That's what he said.
pills.
So so they've been doing it in your leg, and you're like, no, put
I
the
can't
inject me in my.
walk. I can't walk. Like literally, I
Really?
can
Are,
after
are you sure those from injections, girl?
the day after I couldn't walk. And I couldn't walk for like 2 or 3 days. So it
Oh
was very
dear.
painful, and I I can't take it anymore in my leg. They have to do it in my butt or nothing.
Or go back to the pills.
Or go back.
So Portia, you're saying you've been doing the injections, going to the doctor. So do you feel like the injections have you seen more progress with the injections as opposed to the pills?
Yeah, they wanted me to do injections instead of pills because I was taking estrogen in pill form, and it wasn't.
Mm,
They said it wasn't doing anything. Uh,
mm,
it was like I was taking it and it wasn't having the result I wanted. So that's why they had me doing an injection.
okay. You know what? You've actually inspired me. I kind of want to see how the injection would be, the experience on that.
Definitely don't get it
And
in your leg.
definitely, definitely, what they say, kids, get in the butt.
Yeah,
But I kind of want to try it and see if like I get like a little bit more breast tissue. We'll see, but just a little bit. Maybe we'll do it for like a month and then go back to my
yeah,
pills. But okay. But yeah, Portia, I'm happy that you shared your tips with us. So like, how you get it, the injections, I do the pills. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think we should get off this live, girl, before this thing gets too long.
yeah.
You have talked my ear off enough, okay, girl? And I need to go talk to my man.
Okay, okay. So
So
thank you for coming out and to the Trans Talk. Um, and like and subscribe, of course.
like, subscribe, comment. You have your lovely hostess, Duchess, here. Until next time, and your lovely
Portia.
hostess, Portia. And that's it, guys. Talk to you later. And
Bye.